I'm pleading not guilty to the charges of premeditated murder, attempted murder, aggravated child abuse or battery, arson, resisting arrest without violence. And it might sound far-fetched, but I guarantee you, we're going to see who the liars are before it's all said and done. Mark my words. Because my family lives were taken.
This is Love Hurts. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for future content. 33-year-old Kenyatta Barron, affectionately known as Kiki, was thoughtful, loving, friendly, and genuine. She was a beautiful person, both inside and out. She had a way of drawing people in. If you were in her presence, you automatically wanted to get to know her. Her energy was so pure. Kiki loved writing poetry. It was just so calming to her. And she absolutely loved to cook. She got so much enjoyment out of feeding her loved ones. To know her was to love her. She truly had a glow about her. And she had a way of grabbing attention without even really trying. And in 2006, Kiki's glow attracted the attention of Ronnie O'Neal III. In the beginning, things were great between the couple, but shortly into their courtship, Kiki became pregnant with their first child. She went on to give birth to a beautiful baby girl whom she named Ranivia. After the birth of their daughter, things started going downhill for the couple. Baby Ranivia was born with cerebral palsy and was later diagnosed with autism. She was nonverbal and required lots of care and attention. Having kids in general can add stress on a relationship, but having a special needs child can really amplify that stress. And to make matters even more complicated, shortly after having baby girl, Kiki was pregnant again. She gave birth to the couple's son, Ronnie O'Neal IV, just 1 year after having her daughter. Having 2 kids back-to-back drained the couple and left little opportunity for quality time. Eventually, the lovers' flames fizzled out and the two called it quits. Ronnie went on to have a child with another woman, leaving Kiki a single mom raising 2 children. In 2017, tragedy struck and Ronnie was shot, almost losing his life. Although he and Kiki weren't on the best terms, she was completely there for him. He was the father of her children, and she knew that regardless of the relationship between him and her children still needed their father. So she vowed to be there by his side and to take care of him. She even went against her own family's advice and her better judgment and allowed Ronnie to move in with her and the children, which proved to be the worst decision she could have ever made. After being shot, everything about Ronnie changed dramatically. Everything from his personality to his religion was different. He started following the Nation of Islam, and with that, he took on the ideology that women were less than men. He believed that his word was law and final in their household, while Kiki, on the other hand, felt like they should have equal decision-making power. Not only had she been living as a single parent, making all the decisions alone for a while, but also she wasn't married to Ronnie. She wasn't even officially in a relationship with him. She just wanted to help the father of her kids get back on track. She really wasn't with giving up so much control over her and her children's lives for a man that had just barely started stepping up. Tensions were extremely high in the household, and Ronnie's behavior became more and more erratic as time went on. He not only became super paranoid, but he also became aggressive and started talking about battling demons. It was clear to see that things wouldn't end well. On the night of March 18th of 2018 at 11:43 p.m., police received a 911 call from Kenyatta Barron. She can be heard in the background of the call literally begging for her life and apologizing to her attacker. Also in the background, Ronnie can be heard yelling and chanting Allah Akbar. The 911 call ended shortly thereafter. 8 minutes later, a second 911 call came in. This time, Ronnie O'Neal was the caller, claiming to have been attacked by white demons and accusing Kiki, Kenyatta of trying to kill him. He also states that he had just killed her, and he provided his address for 911 operators. When police arrived, they located Kiki laying on the front yard deceased. She had been shot and beaten to death. In the home, they located 9-year-old Ronivia. She had been completely butchered with a hatchet and beaten to death. The only survivor was the couple's 8-year-old son, but he was just barely clinging to life, as his father had stabbed him more than 20 times and attempted to set him on fire. He was rushed to the hospital and he miraculously survived. Ronnie was arrested at the scene and taken to jail, leaving the community in complete shock.
Now we're learning a Riverview man accused of nearly killing his entire family may have threatened them before the incident.
Family of Kenyatta Barron and her 9-year-old daughter, Ronivia O'Neill, are still mourning after their murders back in March. These newly released photos show Ronnie O'Neill III, just after Hillsborough deputies say he killed his girlfriend and daughter, tried to murder his young son before setting the house on fire. The charges show that deputies believe O'Neill was able to think this out. We're now hearing in interviews just released that some people didn't see any signs of trouble at the home until screams for help that night. Others say O'Neill threatened his girlfriend in the past and was seen on the roof yelling well before the incident. The night of the murders, deputies say he made a 911 call ranting about demons, calling Kenyatta by her nickname, Kiki.
911, what is your emergency? Hey, I just been attacked by some white demons inside Kiki. Kiki, her name is Kiki, and she tried to kill me. What's she at? Huh?
Kenyatta called 911 begging for her life, while deputies say O'Neill yelled Allah Akbar in the background. New evidence shows that there may have been tension over his efforts to convert the family to Islam.
Due to Ronnie's mental health status, it would be another 3 years before he ever went to trial for the murders. And as if circumstances surrounding the case weren't bad enough, Ronnie chose to represent himself during the trial, giving him the opportunity to question the son whom he tried to murder.
Here at 6 with this boy's act of bravery after surviving the unthinkable.
I just saw my dad holding a shotgun and my mom screaming at him.
That little boy testifying at his father's murder trial. He's the son of Ronnie O'Neill, his father on trial for the murder of the boy's mother and sister, and also for trying to kill Ronnie, allegedly. Now, because he's representing himself, this creates the unusual scenario of the father cross-examining, questioning his own son. The man is accused of trying to kill him, and now he is basically questioning his son's testimony.
What you're about to hear is part of little Ronnie's testimony. He's 11 years old now, followed by some of the cross-examination that he experienced with his father, who, as you said, is representing himself.
State, you ready to proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just saw my dad holding a shotgun and my mom screaming at him.
And your father had a shotgun. What happened next? What did he do?
My mom ran in my sister's room. My mom ran in my sister's room into the closet. And then my dad said, come in here and come kill the B-word.
Did you hear any shots from the shotgun before that?
Yes.
How many times?
1.
Was there a time when your mother was able to get out of the closet?
She was like stumbling outside, and then I just saw my dad chase her.
What do you remember happening next?
My dad told me to walk around and say like some words.
And do you remember what words your father told you to say?
Allah Akbar.
Allahu Akbar?
Yes.
Did he do something to your sister?
Yes, he hit her with an axe. And then he went in the garage, I followed him. He put me on the ground, and then he had his foot on top. I was laying on my stomach, he had his foot on top of me, and he was holding me down, and he was lighting a match.
Mr. O'Neill, any questions?
How you doing, Ronnie?
Good.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Did you see me shoot your mom?
No.
Did I hurt you that night of this incident?
Yes.
I did. And how did I hurt you?
You stabbed me.
And investigators have said that Ronnie O'Neal tried to set his son and their house on fire before this night of violence ended, according to investigators. Again, that was...
Thankfully, Ronnie was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to 3 life sentences, plus 60 years.
O'Neal case out of Hillsborough County, a judge sentencing the convicted killer to life in prison. And she said this is the worst case she's ever witnessed, and it will haunt her for life.
This is your justice.
Even as Ronnie O'Neal faces the final judgment for murdering his ex-girlfriend and daughter, crimes that captivated people across the country, he offered up no sorrow.
I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
It's the same reactions he's always had in life. It's the same reaction that caused him to commit these murders. You guys just got to see it for yourself.
Kenyatta's family took the stand, able to speak from their hearts and tell O'Neal what they've waited 3 years to tell him.
So when you sit in that cell for the rest of your life, remember, you don't leave out until you're in a box. So when you sit in that cell every day, 24 hours a day, that scream, I want you to hear it. When she comes to you in your dreams, I want you to receive it. You know why? Because that was a child of God.
The judge also able to share her thoughts on the case, getting especially emotional as she spoke about Ronivia, O'Neal's 9-year-old daughter, and what he did to her.
At the moment, that first time you struck her with that hatchet, and little Ronnie testified that all he could see was tears coming out of his sister's face. At that moment, that child knew. She knew she was being betrayed in the cruelest, most tragic and sorrowful way that a child could ever be betrayed. She was being betrayed by her parent, the one person that should be there to protect their children and love them and keep them from harm.
O'Neal will spend the rest of his life in a jail cell without the chance of parole, a judgment Barron's family feels is a win, even if he wasn't sentenced to death.
Little Ronnie IV was eventually adopted by one of the officers that responded to his home the night of the murders. He is said to be doing well. My heart truly goes out to Kenyatta Barron's family, friends, and loved ones. If you are in a domestic abuse relationship, create an out plan and get out. Once you are out, do not turn back. Turning back can cost you your life. As always, loves, stay safe. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future content.